Today's thought is, what is a career anymore? uh, Kind of funny coming from me. I think this was inspired by a newsletter I read that's written by Charlie Warzel. And it was, what if people don't want a career? I think this is a question that's coming up because of the great resignation that's happening right now. Millions of people are quitting their jobs, some of them moving to other jobs, some of them quitting without a job lined up. Some of that's just the frustration of the past year and a half. Um, some of it's because employers are trying to pull people back into the office and they're not offering remote work options anymore. And people have said, I'll just quit. And they are. It wasn't an idle threat. There are millions of people who are quitting their jobs. And I think this time um, spent under all this extreme stress, spent in quarantine, spent out of the office, more time to think about your future, more time to invest in yourself, less time commuting. It's made people question their life and thinking about work-life balance and thinking about where they want their career to go, what they want out of life, what they want professionally, whatever it might be, thinking about their happiness, thinking about their fulfillment. So it's an interesting article slash newsletter that maybe, especially the younger generation, they don't want a career anymore. And I think that's true in the sense of a traditional career. And so that's kind of the question that I was thinking about today is like, well, what does it mean to have a career? I think the definition of career has changed dramatically over the last 30 to 50 years, and it's accelerating. The definition of what a career is even changed in the last 10 years. A career used to mean a career doing a specific type of job with a specific company. So it was a career with GE or a career with IBM, a career with the railroad. And I have friends who spent their entire career working in one company, one big corporation. I have a friend who spent, I think, all of his career, maybe he had one other job, but most of his career working at IBM. Worked there 30, 35 years and retired with the company. So a career was very much a career with a company doing a specific type of job. And then I think that's changed even in my career lifetime, that a career then was a profession. So you had a design career, you had a career as a lawyer, a career as a doctor, a career as a police officer, a career as a teacher. And so you may change employers and change jobs and move around the country, move around the world, but you're still investing in your professional career based on the kind of work that you do. And then it seemed like it was a little more flexible even in the last 10 to 15 years, where you don't necessarily stay in a specific profession, a specific type of job. You don't certainly stay with a single employer for the rest of your career. Um, and now people are even thinking about bouncing around within an industry. And so if you're in the tech industry, maybe you have a career in tech, but you maybe started as a designer, moved into product management, which is kind of what I did with my career. Someone may have started as a designer, moved into engineering, and vice versa. There are people in engineering who moved into sales or they became an executive. So people are moving around. So they're moving around within companies, they're moving between companies, they're moving between professions, but they've been staying in a specific industry. So you think of that as an industry or a career in tech, in the tech industry. But even that's changing now, that people are migrating beyond a specific industry. And I have too. I've had friends who've moved from the tech industry to the restaurant industry, people who were in the medical kind of profession doing something entirely different, almost like a second act career. So I think that's the way to think of it. It's like career isn't necessarily a dirty word. And that was kind of the article, or at least the implication, the conversation I think that was going on Reddit, is that being a careerist was a negative thing. Having a career was a negative thing. That's something that boomers did. Maybe it's something that Gen Xers like myself did. But I think that's only if you have a very narrow definition of what a career is. So if you're thinking of as a career as something that is a specific profession, a specific company in a specific industry, then it's very constraining. And that was what the article was talking about, is it was a way to control people. That employers were saying, hey, if you want to have a career, if you don't want to damage your career, you better work really hard for us. You better make us happy. But I look at it very differently. And so I don't think that a career is at the level of a company. I certainly don't. I don't think of that. So it's not a company. It isn't even a career as a specific profession. It's not even a career in a specific industry. I think of a career as what you're choosing to do over your lifetime. So it's almost like a career of you. I talk about the business of you and thinking of yourself almost like a business, and that you are a very valuable thing. You're very valuable to employers, you're very valuable to clients or customers. You have knowledge, you have skills, you have talent, all of this stuff that can be done to create things or to provide a service or to provide information. And that has absolutely nothing to do with a specific profession. It has nothing to do with a specific company or employer. It transcends industries. And it transcends geographies. In my case, I'm working with people all over the world. I just got off a call with a great guy who's based in Sydney, Australia, talking about this. I'm working with somebody who's in Costa Rica. I've worked with somebody who's in Brazil. I'm working with clients in Europe, in Canada, in the US, all over the place. So I think a healthier way, and that's to think about your career, and this is what I recommend. When I talk about an invincible career, that isn't in service of someone else. Having an invincible career isn't in service of an employer who thinks that they own you and your time. This is for you. When you create an invincible career, you're doing it for you, and you're absolutely investing in yourself, and you're thinking about how you want to invest in yourself, improve your knowledge, get the experiences you need, invest in your professional development, all because you're investing in you and you're trying to find a way to make work what it should be for you, or to create your own business, which is something, I don't hide this. I really think people should consider starting their own business. I think it is the ultimate freedom. I think working for employers is a great experience. I certainly worked for employers for a long time. You learn a lot, you grow a lot, you're exposed to things that you probably wouldn't be if you were running your own business or a small business. But at some point, if you want absolute freedom and control over your destiny and your time, the kind of work that you do, the kind of people you work with, the ability to set your own schedule, to own your calendar, to go wherever you want in this world, I think you have to work for yourself. So I think that's a better way to think of career. Career does not have to be a dirty word. Building a career doesn't have to be a negative thing or seen as something that's a negative thing. If you think of it as an invincible career, the career of you, you're building your specific career in service of you. So that's my thought for today. I'm curious how you think about it. Do you think of your career or you think of something else? I haven't really seen a different way to refer to this because it's not a job, it's not a profession. I don't know what else to call it other than a career. I'd love to come up with a new term because it is a loaded word. But how are you thinking about this in your own case? How are you investing in yourself, and what do you think the long term outlook is for you and what you want to accomplish in your lifetime?